Yes, I finally bought a brand new fully electric car, my very first one since I gave up on Tesla almost 3 years ago. I'll tell you what it is, but most importantly, I'll tell you what finally made me pull the trigger, and we'll do it right now. Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of electric car scoop. If you are interested in everything that's going on in the world of electric cars, you came to the right place. All you have to do is click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward. So for those of you guys who have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I was one of the first Tesla Model S owners back in 2012. There were only about 3,000 of them made, but I got my hands on one. I absolutely fell in love with it. And by the way, that was not cool to buy a Tesla back then, like it is now. Everybody thought I was a complete idiot giving my money to a brand new company that's making this electronic cars, but I bought into it. I gave my money to them. I thought Elon Musk was a genius and electric cars were the future. And essentially, I became the original Tesla fanboy. Since then, I bought 2 more Teslas, but over the years, I started to feel that things were just a bit off, and then more and more off. The brand just wasn't the same. It wasn't treating me the same. It wasn't treating other customers the same. The compromises I was making for them, it just stopped being worth it, and I decided to step away from the brand. And I figured, let me give it a couple of years to see maybe if Tesla fixes some of those problems that were bothering me, or maybe another car brand will have another electric car model that would be for me. So I ended up with a Chevy Volt, which is a plug-in hybrid electric car. I originally bought it as a commuter, but then I kind of fell in love with it, and I have been driving it ever since. And meanwhile, I have reserved some electric cars that were coming out at that time, like the Tesla Model 3, the Audi e-tron, but I just never pulled the trigger because I never felt those cars were 100% right for me. And when I fell in love with the Byton M-Byte, well, the trigger pulled me. As you know, Byton went belly up. Otherwise, I probably would be driving the M-Byte right now. But finally, last year, I saw a car that I thought, boom, I think this one is for me. And once I did a couple of test drives, every time I drove it, I was like, I think so. I think this is the one. But I also have to say my situation has changed. I was no longer making my big Silicon Valley salary. I moved to Sacramento pursuing doing this channel full time. So I had to become more frugal, and so the price started to play a big role. I'm also no longer 25, so I just don't have a need to beat the Ferraris off of the light anymore. And I would prefer a more comfortable ride over the performance, which I normally don't even use. And I gotta admit, the ludicrous mode in Tesla does make me dizzy and nauseous and gives me a headache. I am an old man, but let me finally tell you which car I decided to pull a trigger on. Before that, of course, a quick reminder that this channel and this video is sponsored by NeoCharge. Already have 2 electric cars but fighting over a single charger? Well, the dual car smart splitter from NeoCharge lets you plug both into 1 220 outlet without spending a ton of money on a panel upgrade. Get yours today using the discount code and the link in the description of this video. So I am a proud owner of a brand new Volkswagen ID4. That's my baby right there. I leased it last weekend. I was a reservation holder pretty much from day one. So let me tell you why. And by the way, I'm not preaching, because I believe there are different electric cars that are perfect for different people, just like relationships. By the way, I have already posted a general review video when I got to drive this car a few months ago, and I will post one more once I really get to know this one. But for now, I just wanted to share some of the reasons that made me pull the trigger and kind of made me fall in love with this particular car. First of all, the range. It's got 250 EPA rated miles, which means about 200 real world miles, and it is more than enough for me. My last Tesla Model S had a 60 kilowatt hour battery, so it had about 170-180 miles of realistic range, and I never got close to zero, even when I was traveling. Number 2 is I'm getting something that we all used to get when we were buying Teslas back in the day, which is free unlimited fast charging. You get 3 free years with Electrify America, which is not yet perfect, but it is still bigger, better, and faster than Tesla's supercharger network was for most of my ownership of all of 3 of my Teslas. As a matter of fact, every day as I just run my errands, I see about 2 or 3 Electrify America locations here in Sacramento, and I don't even need them. And number 3, and this is just a matter of taste, but I absolutely love the way it looks inside and out. I love the front and the back. I love the white accents that they have created specifically for the first edition. I love the modern steering wheel, the ambient light, the play and pause pedals, the beautiful panoramic roof, and just many other things that made this car beautiful for me. Number 4 is the gadgets, and I know Teslas and other cars have their own gadgets, but these gadgets are not only cool, but they're also very useful. My favorite one is the ID light. It is a light strip that goes across the top of the dashboard where it meets the windshield, and it gives you a lot of important visual cues. So when it's time to make a turn and I have my navigation system voice commands muted because, you know, they're annoying and I want to listen to my favorite music, the ID light runs a couple of lights in a direction in which you need to turn, and you don't forget. Another gadget that I really liked was the gesture controls. As you can see, you slide between the screens by using your hand without touching the screen. Right now, it's the only one that they have, but with time and the over-the-air updates, there will be more gestures. Now, I also liked the graphics user interface. I know Sandy Monroe mentioned it many times on my channel and his that he didn't, but to me, this was super simple to figure out. I like the graphics and I like how everything flows, and that was very important. Plus, the screen is actually turned towards the driver. Also, there is a built-in seat massager. Now, this is a feature that you usually find in a BMW 7 Series, but now I have it in my ID4. There's also the Hello ID feature, which means that the car can understand a pretty wide variety of voice commands, something that's missing from pretty much all cars that I've ever test driven. So this was a big deal for me as well. As a matter of fact, for my premium members, I have just posted a short video with all of my favorite Hello ID commands, so check it out. And on top of that, there will be an Alexa integration later this year via the over-the-air update. And on top of that, a great German build quality. I missed that. Plus many service locations all over the place. Obviously, you don't have to be on hold for over an hour to get a hold of their representative on the phone. So that's something that I've missed as well. But at the end of the day, the reason I went for the ID4 was because I felt it was the best bang for my buck. After all of the incentives, the total price ended up being about $33,000, and that's for the fully loaded first edition. With a bit of a down payment, my monthly payments ended up being less than $400 a month. Now, one thing you probably noticed I have not mentioned was the self-driving tech. That's because I don't care about it. Until there's a tech where I can literally sleep in my car as it's driving me, I don't care about it. I didn't care about it in Tesla, and I don't care about it in my ID4. I do wish there was a frunk, even though I don't really have that much of a use for it, but it's just something I feel an electric car should have. But one thing they do need to improve is the mobile app. It is horrible. I'm assuming they're maybe a little bit behind in developing the new user interface for it and some features, but right now, it's pretty bad. I hope this is one of the first things they change as they develop more and more cool features for the ID4. Now, I know some of you have already asked me why I picked ID4 over the Mustang Mach-E, and I have to say, that was a pretty close call. The Ford Mustang Mach-E is an excellent electric car, but for me, it came down to 3 things. First, the price. The Mustang Mach-E is a few $1,000s more. Secondly, the interior design, specifically the dashboard and the steering wheel. And lastly, you know, the 3 years of unlimited free fast charging is definitely hard to beat. So that was my choice for my next electric car, and I am keeping my Chevy Volt for the rest of the year at least. And if you are shopping for a brand new electric car, let me know in the comment section what your top choice is right now. All right, so if you are a premium member, check out my video with my favorite Hello ID commands. If you're not a premium member, well, all you have to do is click on the join button, and not only you will be getting some bonus materials on this channel, you will also be supporting this independent electric car YouTuber right here. All right, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.